welcome to the third episode of the Nestene Conversationess. You know me, Liam.
Got
me,
and
Stan, of
me,
course.
Jack.
But today we have a very special guest star. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Liam. I do lots of TikTok videos on social media and stuff. My TikTok is @liam.clear. And I'm good mates with Stan from uni, and I'm a big Doctor Who fan myself. So when Stan said about this, I thought I'd hop on the opportunity and get recording with you all, get talking about today's topic.
Yeah,
And-
which is, of course, the new specials.
Yeah, the newest specials. So Resolution and Revolution of the Daleks.
So before we go to that,
as well.
Yeah.
oh yeah, do you not? No. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, awesome, nice.
All right, yeah. So before we start, I just thought we'd go into like a little bit of a segment about kind of your experiences with Doctor Who and stuff. So, in terms of Doctor Who, what kind of Doctors have you seen? What haven't you seen, etc.?
Oh, okay, so I started watching Doctor Who when I was about 6 years old, probably younger, 5 years old. For me, I remember like growing up to watching Doomsday, and David Tennant Series 2 finale is the ones that stand out for me as a kid.
Yeah.
And then watching Series 3 and Series 4 is prominent. Like I remember sitting down with my family every Saturday night watching watching Series 4. That was the most probably prominent I remember. But no, I love. For me, I haven't really seen much of Classic Who. I know about Classic Who, but I haven't really seen much of it. But New Who all the way. David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, Matt Smith were my prime time of watching Doctor Who. And then I've recently, over the first lockdown, I rewatched every single Doctor Who episode, every New Who episode. So that included all of Capaldi as well. Who I hold my hands up. I was when Capaldi joined, I was very like, oh, he's been in it before, sort of thing. Very dismissive towards him, but he's actually a very, very good Doctor.
Yeah, he's my favourite from New Who.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
I forgot to mention.
I do.
So yeah, my favourite classic is Troughton, and my favourite New Who is Capaldi.
Yeah, no, I think he's a really good Doctor. And then with Whittaker, I've sort of been on and off. I've rewatched them all, but as we all. Yeah. There's not much to say about that. Really.
Yeah, there really is really not much to say with her.
Yeah. But no, for me, favorite Doctor. Talking about favorite Doctors, for me, my favorite Doctor was Tennant all the way. I just love about Tennant. He had this. The Doctor's an alien, but I loved about Tennant's Doctor. He had human characteristics, which we saw through Rose. His relationship with Rose. Just how how his emotions, for me, standout episode of his Family of Blood, Human Nature, and Waters of Mars.
I agree completely.
Those three episodes of Tennant, I'd say Waters of Mars, especially as well, when the Time Lord Victoria's stuff and everything is honestly, it's amazing. I just thought fantastic. You can't fault his performance. I agree
completely. My favorite story from David Tennant's era has to be Family of Blood. It's so good.
Yeah.
Just his acting as well. You feel so bad for him. Like it's just perfect acting. It's just such a good two-parter.
He is. He's a brilliant actor, and I think I rated Matt Smith a lot. I think for Matt Smith to come into David Tennant's role, it was a hard task. I wouldn't say he's as good as David Tennant, but I think he did a really good job.
Yeah,
I feel like some of the storylines let him down. Yeah, I feel like some of the storylines let him down a little bit.
I mean, he definitely stood out as his own kind of character as well. Like, he had his own very good characteristics.
He definitely wouldn't have been that popular if he had the same characteristics as David Tennant. Definitely not. Exactly. Like, he would have just been very like, oh, he's just trying to be like David Tennant. But he made it in its own, kind of had his own era. Yeah. That's very different.
Really got what you got to do with the Doctor.
Yeah.
You really got to kind of
make yourself stick out.
On your own spin on it.
Okay. Yeah, the first episode we'll be talking about Resolution, which was the Series 11 special, the New Year's special, which was the first New Year's special. Overall, what are your thoughts on them doing New Year's specials instead of Christmas? I personally really dislike it because I just love the whole idea of Christmas specials.
Well, I swear, the Series 10 special, Christmas special, was, what's it called?
Twice Upon a Time. Yeah.
with the William Hart. Well, no, it wasn't William Hartnell, but I can't remember the actor's name. Who plays
David
him now.
Bradley.
David Bradley, that's the one. I swear the only reason that Moffat wrote that episode was because he wanted to keep the tradition of a Christmas special. Because I swear he said in multiple like interviews like he wanted Capaldi to regenerate in the series 10 finale rather than the special, but he kept the special on to keep the tradition. All of a sudden Chibnall come along and it went to shit.
Yeah, he didn't even like what I like about the new Who showrunners, like Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat, they're good friends just for the fact that they are both consistent, well, somewhat consistently good if we're talking about Moffat, like showrunners. So they're good friends in real life. And you can just tell on Instagram from the shit they say, they really do not like Chibnall, like, at all. They were throwing shade in their own comments about, like, about the episodes. It's quite funny.
What sort of stuff were they saying? What sort of stuff?
It was very, like, passive-aggressive, low-key stuff about, like, Christmas specials and stuff like that. I'm going to try and find them. If I found them, I'm going to just put them on the screen. But, like, it's quite funny stuff. I don't know if they've deleted them, but
there's a lot of drama in this Doctor Who writing.
Yeah, they dislike him. But, I mean, it's understandable. Like, especially like Stephen, like what you said, Liam, like him trying to keep the Christmas specials, and Chris just as soon as he comes on, he gets rid of them. It's like it's kind of like a power move, isn't it? I'd be pissed off.
Christmas Day for me was always I can't remember what time it was, around 7:00. Christmas Day. Family sat round.
Yeah, that's all I wanted.
The ones I can remember: Voyage of the Damned. Oh my god, End of Time Part 1. Like all these Tennant episodes, the Rachnos episode. Like they were, and all the Matt Smith's ones as well. Like they were brilliant, and all of a sudden they just, that tradition just sort of went.
I just feel like New Year's doesn't really have like a vibe like Christmas does.
Yeah, it feels like a strange day to have a special on because it's not like
yeah, like people are getting drunk and all that, and it's like no one's gonna be watching the telly.
You don't really.
Unless you're stuck
have
inside.
you ever heard of anything that's a New Year's special aside from Doctor Who right now? Like what?
New Year's doesn't even have like a theme either. Really, it's just like a new year. Like there's not like
it's
just
like, this
snow
is the
and
beginning
stuff.
of the new year. Like Happy New Year, guys.
Like Easter special. A lot of people do Easter
or like
Day
a Halloween
specials,
special
like
or something. That would even make more sense.
Yeah. Halloween special. There's no such thing as a New Year's
like with
Day
Christmas,
special.
You're gathered with your family. Like it's a day for being with your family. You've got like certain traditions. Christmas is a day for tradition.
Exactly. That's what makes it magical.
New Year isn't really a tradition. It's just like, this is the new year. Happy New Year, guys, and then you get on with the day. Really,
it's so stupid. If he was gonna change it, because the whole thing was to make it more like culturally appropriate or something. Like he wanted to kind of appeal to a different.
Everyone likes Christmas. It's not like a
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally every single person, not even like non-Christian people, right? They were sitting down and watching the Christmas special. It's nothing to do with it being Christmas, Like it's just what made it special.
It's just like on this day, if you're a fan of Doctor Who, here's something to watch with your family or your friends. Here's a tradition for you to have on Christmas Day, as well as the Christmas celebrations.
I agree. I was just saying. I think all these New Year's episodes. Unless there's like a story arc to them, I just don't. I prefer Christmas. Well, they could have just done a story arc on Christmas Day. So, the whole Dalek story arc that the Chibnall was like supposedly doing. But I've heard rumours that there's not actually going to be one for Series 13. So. Really? Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm kind of losing a little bit of hope with the new era, like a little bit. It wasn't because it's badly written. That is a strong reason, but like it was up until the series 12 finale.
How could you come in? How could you come into Doctor Who? I was just like, really that much? I hope to God. I hope if it was the Master, if the Master's the Timeless Child, I'd be happy with that. I think that's good. But what? Yeah. But I would if it's the
it would
Doctor
explain why he killed the Time Lords.
I think it's gonna be of course it's probably gonna be.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it supposedly is. It supposedly is, but if it's a lie or not,
they revealed it. But
I hope it is.
See, I don't know too much about the new Jodie era, but it sounds like the next writer has a lot of fixing to do. Like a lot of stuff to fix.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Right. So. Wait, to you, Liam Francis. How are we gonna kind of disassociate you two?
For this episode, you can call me
Francis.
The doctor, call me Francis. Yeah, just call
Francis
me
and Claire.
Francis and Claire.
Yeah, so
Francis,
I'll give you a nice little like recap on the Timeless Child. So it was a thing where they revealed that the Doctor supposedly the prophecy of the Time Lords, that she was the very first Time Lord, and they kind of extracted her DNA, and that's the whole reason behind regeneration, which does not make any sense. One, because Time Lords have a limited regeneration cycle, and they showed that, which like if you had a limited regeneration cycle, why? Like I didn't get that. But yeah, like it's supposed to be a big he's the first one, or I mean she's the first one, the first ever Time Lord.
So the chosen one prophecy sort of thing. Yeah.
But also, I swear, Matt Smith, when he regenerated, he was at the end of his regeneration cycle, and then the Time Lords gave him another 12. So those 12 were just
exactly.
Oh yeah, that completely
that entire story about like him he was growing old, wasn't he? He was protecting Trenzalore. He grew old. He was very close to dying of old age, and the Time Lords granted him his regeneration.
What's the point in that?
Okay.
Yeah, so resolution. Okay, Claire, what did you think of it?
Outside of the New Year's thing, I guess.
Okay, so overall, from what I haven't actually sat down and rewatched this before this. So from what I can remember, I don't think. Do you know what? I actually like the idea of a Dalek like jumping onto someone's back and like having that. I quite like that idea. I quite like that concept. But the episode itself, yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just not the same. I'd say I preferred the revolution of the Daleks to resolution. I don't know, but again, like it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
It was very, very, very cinematic. One thing I noticed, like
I know, I
find it insanely cinematic. Like there's that there was that whole narration at the beginning.
Yeah, it's distractingly cinematic.
It is like Chibnall's trying.
And then there was like the anchors on screen.
Yeah. No, what he's trying to do, right? He's trying to compensate for his shit writing, is what it looks like. Like, oh, look at this! Lens flare!
I didn't like the whole, how the Dalek was like a missing piece across like loads of places. I didn't get that.
I quite like that.
I swear that was never... I swear that was never really used in any way. Like, did the Dalek ever get its parts back? I swear it just was I think it was 4 pieces of like the Dalek, like alien Dalek,
and then like himself from Sheffield steel.
Yeah, then
what is it with Chibnall's writing and creating everything from scratch in Sheffield? Like the sonic screwdriver.
I gotta say, I like that.
From steel in Sheffield.
Yeah, that was.
A Dalek was created with steel in Sheffield. Like.
No, honestly, I think that was a good idea. Like the whole thing about the Dalek building itself.
This is gonna piss you off, right? There's theories about the TARDIS, quote unquote, dying, and
I heard that. Yeah.
What if she built her own TARDIS from Sheffield steel? That would be so stupid. I would fucking quit like indefinitely if that was the case.
I liked the episode, and what I do like about Chibnall when he writes the Daleks, and I've seen YouTubers talk about this as well, but he does make the Daleks more destructive than what Moffat did. I don't feel Moffat wrote the Daleks very well, but I feel Chibnall, when he does use the Daleks, he does kill off people, and it is quite good. There's one thing about this episode which a lot of people bring up, and it's this whole Wi-Fi joke.
No, I hate that so much.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen. I guess we have a conversation.
So out of place.
That was so bad.
Yeah, I mean overall, like it was an enjoyable episode. I can remember watching it out of all this because I quite like Series 11. I don't know why people. I know there's not a real storyline apart from Tim.
Yeah,
Tim Shaw,
fucking
Tim Shaw.
Tim Shaw. Yeah, but I really like. I do quite like that season, and I remember watching the Dalek episode. I thought, this is quite a good episode because it reintroduces the Dalek. The Dalek's powerful.
I really like that about the Daleks, how they made.
I don't like the Dalek. Yeah, it's the whole. Do you know what it is with Chibnall's episode? It's the whole companions. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't like
the Daleks.
I don't relate to anything.
Right, because the dad in it. I'm sorry, Ryan's dad in it was wasted. I don't understand.
Yeah,
he was in there for like 10 minutes, and that was the only time he's really brought up.
It was just so they could have like a sad ending about.
Yeah, if they set up for the whole season, that might have made more sense. But they just kind of shoehorned it in.
I'd prefer if they killed Ryan's dad off and had a sad ending.
I would have as well.
And Ryan left at the end of series 11.
Just saved him.
It's like love saves the day once again.
Yeah, do you know? I think the thing is with Chibnall's era, it's not only the writing. I don't blame Whittaker. I feel like her acting sometimes it's not how the Doctor should be, but then again, like I don't fault her completely. I do believe it's the writing more, but also I just don't like the companions. The only one I sort of liked was Bradley Walsh. I don't care. About
He's gone now. Like, what the fuck is the point of watching?
Exactly. They're bringing John Bishop in, but we can talk about that in a bit. But like, I don't care about Yaz. I really don't. If Ryan and Graham would have been killed off, like I wouldn't in the newest special, I really wouldn't have cared that much. Like I don't. That sounds horrible, but I just I didn't relate.
I don't wish
them
death on them, but they're just shit.
Well, they're not real people. But
stop thinking it's badly washed. But if he died, I wouldn't care.
No. Let's not get it twisted now. But no, in terms of their characters, I just don't. Those companions. So when they have all these side stories in episodes, so like in this New Year's special, in the first New Year's special resolution, they had this side story with Ryan's dad. I really didn't care. I just wanted to see what the Dalek was going to do and how the Doctor was going to.
Is that dad thing not brought up in like previous episodes? Because I thought it was just because I hadn't watched the previous episodes.
Well, no, it's never brought up. Apart from
really?
That's
so bad. That's so bad. I was like, oh, this is probably. I was like, oh, this would probably be really sad if I'd already watched the other episodes.
If they spread it across the season, I think it would have actually been quite rewarding, but it wasn't.
I swear it was brought up in the funeral when the Grace died. I swear that was it. That was the only time.
Oh yeah, he said like, "Oh, my dad didn't turn up," and that's literally it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is so bad.
I know they could have like really built it up on it, but they didn't.
I really thought it was like a massive build-up thing, and then because when he was at the door, everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And then he was like, "It's my dad," and everyone's reaction was like, "I was like, this makes sense because it was probably." Like,
I'm pretty sure that's the only time you actually.
The problem is that arc could have been good if it was mentioned at least 3 times like throughout that season. It would have been decent. It builds up and you're like, oh, that must be Ryan's dad. But when he shows up, you're like, who the fuck's that? Because you're not given any context.
Oh, dude, that makes it so much worse. Because that bit at the end as well, when he's like, I love you, Dad. Like, why? Why do you love him now? Because he's about to die.
Yeah. You met him once, like, in the past year, like 5 years or something.
And you literally said at the beginning, like, I hate you at the beginning of the episode. And then, like, two hours later, you're like, Dad, I love you more than... I forgive you. It's like, what? Why?
The whole episode, I did like how the Dalek got onto this girl, but then I just didn't... I found the acting a bit... It was... I find it very... Doctor Who nowadays... I just find it very what's the word? It's just too kiddie like. It's just like it's childish, and it's like Doctor Who was never like that.
It's definitely been catered to like a wider audience.
Younger.
Like it's been made to cater to like the general public, like not just kids, but like trying to make it for everyone rather than like a specific kind of set group of people.
And I think it's stupid because the Doctors previously you could watch those as kids and it would still work. But why did he do that? Like, even Sarah Jane is a better kids' version of Doctor Who, you know?
Sarah Jane, I must say, I know I'm going off a tangent, we won't mention it too long, but Sarah Jane...
Oh, same, don't worry. Yeah. What was that guy's name?
It was still a
the
kids'
trickster?
show and it worked like better than this does.
Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, and it was a brilliant kids' show.
It was great, I loved
it.
It's an example of how to like... that you can do it as a kids show without having to make it like super on the nose with like exposition and like this is happening, like oh my goodness, it's a Cologne facility though. Fucking
it's not even just it's not even like it's just a kids show. It's just like it's just like spoon feeding you.
Yeah, it really feels like it's made for like
it's like you really don't have to pay much attention, and it's like what's the point in that? You know, like you're just sort of like. It's like, what's the point in trying to pay attention if you don't really need to?
What was actually happened? Because I remember the plot of it, but I know when they went to GCHQ in Cheltenham. But I can't. What actually happened? So the Dalek sort of got this woman to go to this place, and then he built the Dalek shell.
Yeah, I think that was actually really strong. I really like that idea. It really it made the Daleks seem so much more menacing because you understood that it was
really
just...
liked the Dalek taking over the body and stuff. It felt so threatening and scary. And the
idea that a Dalek, just one alien without a shout, can build itself up like that.
Pissed me off. You mentioned this the previous episodes. Fucking that scene with the Dalek on her back, right? And it's like I control you or whatever. The music was so fucking bad.
And it's like dun 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 dun.
Bring back Murray Gold. Bring back Murray Gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say. Well, we'll talk about it in a bit. But with the new Revolution of the Daleks, sorry, they're so fucking confusing. With Revolution of the Daleks, I loved the music when you first saw the Dalek and it appeared out the smoke. I love that music.
I think that was
fucking
the strongest
hard.
bit.
But anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. But I mean, so yeah, this Dalek got the Shao, went into the Shao. The Doctor sort of went one-on-one with it. The Dalek took out a whole army team.
Oh yeah,
it's like an army team surround him, fire missiles at it.
And then the Dalek good.
Yeah, I love how the Dalek just takes them all out. I like that
when
it actually makes
the
them
way
scary.
they made it way more threatening and way more menacing.
Yeah, that's what I miss about the Daleks.
You really felt like the power of the Daleks.
The whole thing with the Daleks, right?
Yeah, you have one alien without a shout.
Yeah, the last time they did that with just a solo Dalek, right, was Christopher Eccleston's story Dalek, which is one of my favourite stories from the Russell T Davies era.
I was thinking of that.
I just love that because it showed it was like the first introduction in the modern series with the Daleks, and it was scary because it was one Dalek killing everyone.
Right. Well, look what this thing's capable of. Yeah, and it made it so much more impactful when you see a big group of them come to Earth because you're like, oh fuck, but if one guy can do that, then holy shit. I thought that was really good.
That's where I prefer Chibnall's writing of the Daleks to Moffat's, because Moffat's storylines with the Daleks.
I agree. He didn't make them scary at all.
No, they were comedy. They were like comedy acts in some episodes.
This is the only time I've really watched the Daleks and thought holy shit, those would be terrifying if they actually came to Earth. What would we do?
And I swear the Doctor's meant to be scared of the Daleks as well. And in Moffat's area, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel like they would. You know what I mean? But so once the Dalek took out the army team and the Doctor, what happened then? I can't quite remember that bit then.
Then he went to GCHQ and tried to take over the satellites and stuff.
He tried to take over the servers so it could contact the fleet.
Yeah, and they came with the microwave thing and blew it up.
Yeah.
Wait, they blew it up with a microwave?
Yeah,
so
the dad's microwave.
Because Ryan's dad had a
sold
microwaves
or something.
Yeah, he sold a single.
It's such a shoehorned in reason for the Dalek to get destroyed. It's
the only reason they had Ryan's dad in it, to have this microwave plot device.
Oh my god, that's. I knew it was something to do with it burnt the Dalek. The Dalek escaped inside the shell, but I just, what the fuck? That's
it's almost as bad as Orphan 55. It turns out that Orphan 55 is the Earth in the future.
Right, I've got a nitpick for something that didn't make. You know how they were the descendants watched over the pieces? Yeah. How did that person on that island have descendants? Who did they sleep with? It was an island. It was just
there was no one there.
An island.
Well, let's be real. Chibnall makes no fucking sense. So I mean, overall, it wasn't it wasn't one of Chibnall's worst episodes.
I think it was his best, personally.
I think
it's hard to pick which one's classified as good, in my opinion.
Which one's better? I don't know. I did like it, but it wasn't it's not. I think we've all got to accept Doctor Who's never going to be the same as what it used to be. So I think as we've got to lower our standards a little bit now.
I was thinking to myself it's not the best, but it's changing with the times, and so I guess we need to kind of start changing our viewpoints in it a bit too. I mean,
but even with the Capaldi era, was suited for a much older audience because of its dark kind of nature. But it was somewhat written well. Like Series 9, I thought was really decent, and Series 10 was really good, but it was different, and I didn't mind that. It was different, but it was decent.
But I didn't really think Jodie was the worst. I expected her to be much worse from what I'd heard, because I'd never actually seen anything from her before. So I expected it to be her to be much, much worse. But she wasn't the worst Doctor. It's just really bad writing. You know,
I think she was serviceable, but like that's just like she's just like very like I tick all the boxes of like a standard Doctor, I guess.
Yeah, like I'm quirky and sometimes serious. Like.
Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about it at the end of the episode. Well, hopefully we can mention it actually in the episode. But like, obviously, there's all these rumours about Jodie leaving. Would you like her to step down?
I think she's. I feel bad for her, but she has had the fact that people are still saying I'm only just getting to know her Doctor is like ridiculous.
Yeah, not just getting to know her. She's halfway through a fucking normal Doctor run.
Yeah, that's over halfway of a normal Doctor run.
Yeah, like, I do definitely feel bad for her. Like I feel really bad for her. Like, well, it's not an easy role to play.
She seems like a really nice woman as well. Like, I feel really bad.
And also stepping into the role of the first female Doctor as well. It's kind of like.
She did not get what she deserved, like with the showrunner and stuff. I do feel bad. What do you think of the Brexit joke about the unit thing? Being
that pissed me off.
Was that a Brexit joke?
They lost like the whole unit being like losing funding.
Unit lost funding, and so they unit's no longer a thing.
Yeah,
just like a Brexit
it was
joke.
It
was like, government funds.
Been in Doctor Who since the Troughton era.
So I swear,
really?
Unit's been. Yeah, I swear, Unit was like they've cancelled.
Yeah,
they've fully
got rid of it, and I felt that was so stupid because also that would be so. You've literally seen aliens coming to kill the planet. You're like, no, we'll just get rid of it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
you need that.
It was literally they just got rid of one of the most beloved parts of Doctor Who just for like a little gag about it with politics. They could have made the same gag with something else. Like, they didn't need to do fucking one of the main things. Yeah. I guess that's that. If anyone has anything else to say.
Well, we need to rate it.
Yeah, rating obviously.
Well, we'll go with Claire first, because
we do a rating out of 10 by the way.
Okay, so I haven't watched it in about 5 months maybe. But from what I can remember, I'd say a 5 out of 10.
That's understandable.
I'm giving it a 6 just because I think I think the Daleks were intimidating and stuff, but like the whole Dalek, like the Dalek alone, I felt like that was really strong, and that could have been a 7, 8. But with all the other stuff bringing it down, it brings it down to a 6 for me. But I still think it has that thing brings it up. Like the Dalek brings it up a lot for me.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say a 5 as well. Basically, for the Dalek was really strong for me, but all of the bad elements really did bring down the score quite a bit. Like, I just couldn't forgive the fucking music. Like, that puppeteering scene could have been so cool.
Murray Gold was
dramatic and scary, but then it was just like, like you. It
was distracting.
So much better.
Yeah. So 5 definitely. So, like what Liam said. Like what Francis said. What was the good of the episode was overshadowed by all of the bad. And a 5. I mean that's a generous 5. You know, I was very nearly going to give it a 4, but I think I might save that.
I just said 4 or 5. Yeah.
I'm in agreement, but I do think the Dalek stuff was really good, so I do just about give it a 6. But it's nearer a 5 and a 7, definitely.
What should we talk about? So, Revolution of the Daleks. Right.
Revolution.
What did you guys think about that episode?
To be fair, I quite enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it. It was quite fun to watch. You know.
I thought it was fine.
Well, how did it start again? How did it actually begin?
So basically,
it was the coffee. It was the coffee or the tea, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I liked.
Okay. Right. Can I just talk about something? The random guy got fucking killed at the end. At the start, I mean. Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. The side characters, they get given like information. Or just kind of character development that's completely useless. For some reason, the guy who got his coffee poisoned, he had a mum that was sick. For some reason,
I noticed that. Yeah.
Right, I got to say something right now. I personally, I'm not sure if I'm right or whatever, but I personally found that to be one of those things where he was trying to set up a character, make it look like he's going to be a main character or like a new companion or something, and then he wasn't. Even though it was a bit clunky though, but I do think that's what he was
just trying to
do.
make you feel bad for him.
For me, when I saw,
his mum's gonna have
when I saw it, when I saw
it was a bit weird.
When they went onto the mum thing, I was like, okay, well, either his mum's gonna die or he's gonna die. Like that's what's gonna happen. They're trying to make it so you feel bad for this guy.
The mum, if like there's no point in her being around.
It was pointless, and it gets into it, and and I was quite happy to see Jack Robinson back. Jack Robinson, Jack Robinson,
the Trump guy.
Robinson,
yeah. I was happy to see him back. I think he is. It's obviously Arachnids in the UK is a fucking awful episode. It's the worst. I think it's the worst Doctor Who episode I've ever seen in my life. But I like his character, and I prefer him in this one. I think he has he actually has a purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like
he had a lot more purpose in this episode than he did in Arachnids.
The issue I had with him is he was just kind of evil for the sake of being evil.
That was pretty much his role in
I don't like him in any of them, but I feel like he was, I don't like it, I gotta say, I don't like him in any of them, but compared to Arachnids, which you haven't seen, Liam, Francis, but, I think he was an upgrade in this one, definitely. Like, he felt a bit more, purposeful, at least.
Yeah, I just think, for me, a lot of his actions just, I mean, I understood the business side of things when it was like, oh, I'll do these bad things for business, but then towards the end of the episode when he just sold the Doctor out to the Daleks, like why did he do that?
It's like, I like money.
I liked. See, when the when the Dalek came out, and was it Leo, the Prime Minister lady, and Jack Robinson?
Yeah,
when
she was shit Harriet Jones, B-Tech Harriet Jones.
She was awful. When the Dalek came out, and it had that music, and it had the sort of crowd thing in it. I really liked that.
Yeah, I felt like it was like, oh, this makes sense. Like the logic of like the whole kind of finding the shell and stuff. It reminded me a lot of like Terminator 2 and things. I was like getting quite like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I also liked that. I've said it before, but the theme of the Daleks in this episode, I really liked. It was very repetitive, but I quite like. I don't obviously prefer Murray Gold's. Yeah, but I did like this one as well.
I didn't love it, but I felt like it was a fresher kind of take, at least. Like it still kind of felt like something moving along rather than just being stuck to the past.
But I sort of think about another side character. You know, the guy who was played by Curtis from Misfits. What was his name? Leo. Yeah. So another thing, they made him a dad. He was helping Jack.
Yeah.
I liked Leo.
I liked the actor.
I think he was right.
He was good in it. Oh, yeah, he was really good in it.
Why did they make him a dad? You know, they kept doing these things where he was on the phone to his kids, going like, "Oh, look."
Could you feel bad?
Yeah, but like, what's the like? There was nothing to kind of play on with him being a dad.
When that happened, I was like, oh, this guy's gonna die, because they're introducing something that makes you like, oh no, he can't die.
No,
it's gonna be sad if he dies.
I don't even think that's a good thing, you know. Like when Chibnall applies that with a side character, you immediately think that they're gonna die. Like it's that predictable as writing.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like
I think this whole episode was predictable, to be honest. I felt like I could predict everything.
I feel like Chibnall watched Venom and then was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because then he was on the phone, and then the fucking Dalek was like, love you, bye. It's like, that was literally like Venom.
But I did tell you what I did love about this episode, which I wish we had more of. I wish it wasn't so rushed. The whole prison thing, I really liked. I thought the visual effects. I just wish it was longer. And all of a sudden, Captain Jack comes into it. So his purpose in the episode, overall, was to get the Doctor out of prison. But then, apart from that, he had no other purpose. I didn't feel. So
yeah, he was not really Captain Jack like he used to be.
Yeah, quite dumbed down. Like it didn't really feel like Captain Jack.
So obviously he came in and saved the Doctor. I love the whole prison sequences. I thought it was really good.
That's what I was going to say.
And where the fuck? Also, where the fuck were the Jadoon? Why was there no Jadoon patrolling
prison,
or anything?
There was no Jadoon.
There was no Jadoon. No, it was.
It's like Chibnall forgot about his own writing.
Weird in that respect.
Forgot that it was a Jadoon prison.
I remember that she was like reading the Harry Potter intro, and she was like, "One of the classics."
Surely Chibnall. Surely he must look at Doctor Who and think, "Fucking hell, what the fuck have I done to this show?" He must look at it and see it like that. But I don't. But maybe he's so deluded in his own mind that he actually thinks it's good and people are enjoying it now.
Yeah, like
I don't know. But
from what I've seen of him, he seems so.
Going on to your point, Liam, about the prison, right? I really like. What was the point in the whole prison thing, apart from introducing Captain Jack? She was in it for like 10 minutes. And then she just comes out. Yeah, but like she just doesn't even do anything, right? When she leaves and sees, the fam, that hurts me to say, but the fam.
Oh God, yeah. Awful.
These are my best mates.
When she goes back,
like,
yeah, but like if it was any other Doctor, if it was David, if it was Chris, if it was Matt or Peter, they would show some baggage from being in prison for God knows how many decades. But as soon as she's out, she's like, I was in space prison, like she was just like.
Yeah, I felt that was so weird. Like, she was like, I've been here a few decades. Like, oh, that must have affected her quite badly. And then she comes out, she's like, I was in the fucking space prison.
Also, Yaz reacted to the Doctor being in prison. Can I just make a point about Yaz? I can't fucking stand her. She's the most annoying companion
so fucking much.
I hate her. I'm annoyed that she's the one kept on. To be honest with you, they should just sack them all off. I really am annoyed. I just hate the way how she reacts after like she's sort of like doctor, like how she's all like in the TARDIS writing all these notes. But I just don't get it. So she's been in prison for 10 months and she's waited 10 months to see her, right? And then Matt Smith, Amy Pond waited.
Oh, she waited like years? 20.
Yeah.
No, hang on. How many years did she?
12 years?
It's the same concept, but it was done so much better.
I hated that bit. I literally wrote down my notes because, like, at first, I swear Yaz is bipolar. Because at first she was like, oh man, we need to save the Doctor, she could be dead, but I refuse to believe she's dead. Then she sat at the table and she's like, please be her, please be her. And then she comes up the TARDIS and she's like, you fucking prick, you left us. Not even listening to the point that she's been in a fucking space prison for decades.
I got to mention, right, what do you guys think of the whole Phasmin thing that might be happening?
I don't want it.
Phasmin?
What's that?
There's like a kind of... There's kind of like a... like it's been hinted at in the series and stuff, and people are speculating that it's going to lead to a kind of River Song and Doctor relationship with like Yasmin and the Doctor.
I think I would probably.
It's nothing to do with them being. It would be nothing to do with them being like.
No,
it would be nothing to do with
it.
What I liked about Rivers.
Rivers story. I just hate her companion. It's not
like it ended perfectly with Husbands of River Song. I thought that was a really nice, like, bittersweet ending to Rivers' like story. Like having one last night with the Doctor and then it finishing. Like, just leave it, Moffat ended that story. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Would we want another season where it's like on the Earth, like John Pertwee and stuff? But no, it's one of those things that happened and it's
good,
part of
but
the show's history. We don't need to do it again. Yeah.
So I was actually gonna mention this. I just don't think it should happen. We've had Rose and the Doctor. Just leave out the romantic stuff. And even if what I'd like them to do, I think would be better, would be that Yaz fancies the Doctor, but the Doctor doesn't like reciprocate that. And I
I'd find it tolerable, sort of.
And I sort of rate, and I'm sort of glad that they brought in a third companion now that John Bishop's coming in, because I wouldn't want it just to be those two. I would like it to be. I don't think it would work. I just don't think we've had relationships.
One thing I did like about Yaz kind of in that second TARDIS, with all of her notes. That's one of the characteristics of her, like, that they never show. She's supposed to be a policewoman.
Yeah, what was the fucking point in that? Liam, did you even know that from the episodes you saw? I'm curious.
Yeah, she was a policewoman.
I didn't know that from the episodes.
I know, it's so hard to tell.
I knew that from the very first, because the only thing I knew from Jodie's era was that Yaz, like, her companions, one of them was a policewoman. That's what I knew. So I knew.
But you would not know that from the episodes. Like with Martha, she's a doctor, and with Rose, you kind of know that she's like a ordinary teenager and stuff like that. But you just don't get that.
Yeah, Yaz is like, it's never brought up or anything.
Yeah, the only time it's been subtly implied that she's a policewoman is during the first kind of scene in Revolution, with all of the notes and all that.
Also, shouldn't that give her more sympathy to the Doctor, knowing the Doctor was in a space prison? Like. Surely
it was just so like it was like he just like went like it's like he just missed loads of points. He was just like I can't be bothered to kind of fill in those gaps. Just keep them going.
What I don't understand with it, I feel like they're just trying to reuse loads of old things from Doctor Who and bring them into the new. So with the Space Prism, you saw all these old villains, which I liked, but the same dialogue with Captain Jack and the Doctor. Oh, have you had work done? Oh, you can talk and stuff like that. It's just reusing old things.
Exactly.
At this point.
He had no original lines. Every single time he opened his mouth was a callback. to when the show was good.
Yeah.
I think he's so desperate for it to be good again, he has to bring back an old guy for it. Like,
and then that whole like square gun thing, and it was like, check
that's exactly
this
what
out.
happened
Like,
in the Christopher Eccleston.
well, we meant to be like,
just fan service.
So
like,
when it came to the actual, like, when it got into the story, then, and we saw that this Dalek was in China. Is it China they were in, and they were making
Japan.
Oh
yes,
we got mentioned the 4 minute
yes,
Osaka
please.
thing.
Oh,
minutes to
what the
Tokyo.
fuck was that about? The TARDIS
What?
could go. Yeah, 4 minutes
Yeah.
to Osaka or whatever it was. The TARDIS has never done that. It just goes.
It's gone like billions of years and stuff in seconds, and now it takes 4 minutes to get to Osaka in the present day.
Yeah, she was like 4.
What?
I think
didn't
that was
actually pick up on
literally in there for Ryan to Ryan and the Doctor to have that which I quite like that conversation. Yeah. I did quite like it.
Yeah, I think
gave a nice bit of character development. Probably the only bit I ever liked about Ryan, if I'm honest with you. Oh, my tummy's going. But no, so all of that happened, and then they got to Osaka. And Captain Jack sort of split up with Yaz. I liked what he was saying to Yaz. I did like that conversation he had with her. And then the whole thing with in actual thing when they all like got together and they'd seen the clones of the Daleks and stuff. And they got together in Japan, and Leo was there, and he has this Dalek on his back. It was really the dialogue. Now I feel like the dialogue. I hate writers who tell you and not show you. So Chibnall tends to do this thing where he just tells you. So there's a point when obviously they killed all these humans. This Dalek had worked all this plan together to make these, I don't know, to like buy equipment and stuff like that, which is a bit weird, which is a bit extreme. But then he like pulls off this tube and there's like human flesh and all this dripping out, and he's like, "Oh, it's humans." Or Captain Jack goes, "Oh, you're liquidating humans."
Yeah.
Like we can gather
like,
that. Do you know
show
what I mean?
us.
Yeah, literally, you didn't need to say that. Like, you're feeding them liquid humans. Like, yeah, he just fucking said that. Like,
it's
that's the same writing as Family Guy. Every single time they have a commercial break and it comes back and it's like, "Peter, you become the president of the United States." Like,
Peter, are you liquidizing humans to feed to the Daleks?
It almost, literally at this point it feels like a parody of Doctor Who in a way.
Did you like the whole thing about the Dalek like controlling all these people, making them buy equipment and stuff?
Well, he wasn't controlling. He was just like because at the beginning Leo cloned it and then was like, I plugged it into the neural network for like a second, and that's one thing I liked is how that was actually a significant line, being like, oh, I plugged it into the neural network, and later on it was like explained that that's how he did everything. But so he just went through the neural network, and on the accounts of the company, bought these locations and then hired a bunch of employees. So he wasn't controlling them. It was just like a company hiring employees to build this facility.
Yeah. I thought that made the Dalek threatening again. I think as a whole the story made, like, in terms of like the Dalek scheme and stuff, I thought it was pretty fine. It made sense.
I liked Leo's death. How like they said, "Oh, you don't need to kill him," and he was like, "Yes, I don't need to," and then he just killed him anyway. See, that's for me. That's what the Dalek's about. The Dalek's it's a symbol of. Is it a symbol of Aren't they a symbol of Nazis?
Yeah.
So
I think I told you that on that at that.
Yeah, you've told me that. Yeah, you told me that. No, I don't know. And then all of that happened, and then the story just felt very. It just got rushed from that point on. It was just very rushed. I don't know. Captain Jack had literally.
There was no point in him being there apart from breaking the Doctor out of prison, which literally only lasted like 10 minutes.
So then, because they. After that happened, I swear, like they called the Dalek fleet to come and take out the clone-made Daleks.
Yeah,
which was
so
good.
Like
I like the idea, but it's been done. But then, like on the bridge, I love the scene on the
suspension bridge.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even there.
Cool.
I love that. I love that. No,
I know. I remember I was at college, and then they said they're
I was
filming,
in Tenerife, which is annoying. I remember hearing about it happening. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. No, because I love that scene, but just what happened to all the other Daleks? You just didn't see any other Daleks being taken out except the Daleks on the bridge just attacking each other.
No, I thought of that, and then it was just like, we've taken out all of the Daleks. Like, what? When?
To me, that was a highlight scene. Like, I felt like it was so cool, especially seeing like all the like the old Daleks that we're so used to in like a more like a new light.
What do you guys think of the new Dalek designs?
I actually hated them. Yeah, I hated them at first, but now that I've seen them like brought to life, I actually quite like them.
Nah, it looks like I'm not a big fan.
You can't beat the bronze Dalek though.
Not bronze level, no.
Yeah,
but,
I have to be.
I think they're better with Skittle Daleks still.
I don't know about the like red light when they speak. I don't know how I felt about that, but the actual like.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Not a big fan personally. They look too much like a fucking like Amazon Echo or something. LEDs, like it's just stupid.
Yeah.
But then again, like that's how things have evolved. Do you know what I mean? Like with the about the. But that's what life's like. So I don't know. So when they were like going down like shooting people in Cardiff and stuff, which was all filmed in the streets of Cardiff, like near Ladbrokes and stuff, I thought that was brilliant because the Daleks were killing people.
Yeah.
It was great. It's what the Daleks should. Well, it's not great, obviously, but it's what the Daleks are there for. They are like killing machines, aren't they?
I felt like the design was at least justified by the kind of like because the Sheffield Steel one was like a one-time one, and then the design was like at least it was kind of justified. It wasn't just like the Skittle Daleks. Yeah. I felt like were just so out of place. Like why did they need that redesign at all? It was just being new.
I do have to say it's like design continuity, like how the new design is like it's supposed to be based off of the Sheffield Steel one. Because they took that one and kind of replicated it. I liked that it was the same.
I quite like that.
That's essentially what they were doing. There was kind of decent continuity. Like
And also, Jack, what you said, you were like, oh, it just reminds you of like an Alexa or something. But then Daleksa, But if you think about it, like a major tech company would make that nowadays. Yeah. That's probably what it would look like if a major tech company made a Dalek.
And also, if you think about how, obviously we've always seen this in Doctor Who, where they're trying to kind of take modern things and make it scary. Like the idea of like robots taking over and stuff is obviously a scary thing nowadays, and I think it makes sense with the kind of, the look of them and stuff. I thought it was at least justified. It wasn't just out of nowhere.
It was the whole thing about when they like got into the ship and like Jack Robinson baited out the Doctor was a bit what? It was really weird. And then
I hated that.
It was very rushed, and then also when Captain Jack was like, "Oh," and he just pulled out all these bombs in his pocket, and the Doctor was like, "Yeah, go blow it up." Like David Tennant would not be like, "No, give him a choice." But
Jodie was like, "Nah, please."
Yeah, yes, please. You read my mind.
Like, all right. Yeah. In the positive ways, the last time you see Jack for a while, he like the Doctor's, it looks like he's about to shoot someone, and they're like, "Oh, don't shoot!" And he's like, drops the gun, no hesitation. He's like, "Of course I'm not going to shoot." It's like shit like that. If the Ninth Doctor was with Jack and Jack like got some bombs out and was like, "Can I kill the Daleks?" He'd be like, "No. Let's just like let's think this out."
There was like a shocking lack of like morality and like arcs and stuff. There was no real kind of like.
Also,
nothing like that.
Why wasn't Jack killed?
They mentioned that he
should have been
immortal,
killed once,
but just didn't kill him off at all.
That's a good point.
Like I know it's supposed to be a kids show now, it's supposed to be more kids show like, but
they showed an entire massacre of a town.
Like another kind of callback when Jack opened his mouth was when he got the gun out from his ass, and he was like, "You really wouldn't want to know." That line delivery straight from was it Boomtown? No, not Boomtown. That's the Slovene episode. What's that one with the Big Brother and stuff? Satellite 5. Bad Wolf, isn't it?
Good episode.
Yeah,
I think it's just Bad Wolf.
That's like straight from from Bad Wolf.
It's just like he YouTubed cool Captain Jack compilation on YouTube and then wrote down what he was saying. It was like, I can put that in my episode.
Yeah,
there's only so much you can do where you can say it's a reference and then just rip off something.
Yeah, he's ripping off himself.
What I did like though, I will say I did like how they removed the second TARDIS, how they disposed of that.
Yeah, I thought
it is kind of keeping the continuity of the TARDIS being the last TARDIS. Because at first I was like, oh, all of a sudden there's another TARDIS from Gallifrey, and they're just using it again. How are they getting inside without a key?
Because It was
No,
the,
the doors were open.
The bio lock. Because the Yaz said at the beginning of the thing, she coded the door locks to our DNA.
Okay.
But no, the Daleks went in. The Doctor opened the door for the Daleks all to fly in, didn't?
Yeah, but that did.
Yeah.
That
That was, and then
cinematic
she like trapped
looked
it.
exactly like it was. It was from Doomsday with the Is it?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I was thinking that too. I was like, I swear I've seen this before.
The visual though of the Daleks flying around the TARDIS mid-air was insane. I
Props
love
to the
that.
actors.
Yeah, I thought
Really good visually. So everything happens. The Daleks are blown up. The Daleks get sent to this void ship. All of a sudden, Jack just fucks off. That's it.
Yeah, it was odd.
So and then I'm glad he mentioned Gwen Cooper because it gives me hope for a Torchwood return. But
Hopefully someone should.
I don't want it to be written by Chibnall.
it was just weird. It was just. Yeah, but he did write some really good episodes for Torchwood, and he was the main showrunner. But then all of a sudden he takes it to Doctor Who, and Doctor Who's
you can kind of
obviously a bit
tell
more
why
PG.
the BBC chose him because he did have a somewhat okay track record in terms of in the Doctor Who universe. He did make some decent episodes, like somewhat. I mean, like the Power of Three is that what that one's called from Series 7? That one was pretty shit, to be fair, but it was the one with the cubes.
He also wrote the one that goes.
Oh yeah,
"Burn with me,"
42.
which was shit.
Or
That was
something.
shocking.
48.
Can we please talk about Ryan and
That
Graham's
was
leaving
kind of-
thing?
Graham didn't do anything that entire story. He didn't really say much.
What was the point in setting up the cancer? What was the point in setting up the
at
dyspraxia?
the start
It
he was
literally
like,
meant
I'm
nothing.
afraid my cancer might come back, and like the doctor's like, I'm socially awkward. So
Oh, that's awful. That was shocking. The Doctor did to help people, and the Doctor was like, I don't really know what to say, so I'm going to casually. And I was like,
11.
What the
Well,
fuck?
even
Like,
Capaldi. Capaldi was supposed to be one of those I don't like hugs people like doctors, but he still showed empathy.
He'd have helped.
Like,
I really didn't. I really didn't care when they left. People said they were crying
Really?
on Instagram and stuff. I really didn't care, and I don't know why.
I was
tried
like,
to,
okay.
I really don't know why he tried to show off like the ghost of Grace and everything at the end. Like I just
That
didn't.
confused the fuck out of me. I was like,
Hell
what
is
the
that woman?
hell?
Basically, she's a character who died. So.
Like what did that mean? Like I knew it was meant to be Grace, like his grandmother or whatever, but I was like, why? Where has she come from? Like,
It's
is
like
she
a
actually
Force
there?
ghost.
Is she an alien or something? No. It literally
you've
was.
got like the
She
final
just
Return of
was
the
there.
Jedi music playing over.
You know what it
Like,
reminded me of?
The way they did it, the way they made it out, made it as if it was because of his dyspraxia that he was seeing her. And I was like, what the fuck?
You know what reminded me of, Liam? You remember that time we watched that scene from that film Ghost with that fucking Patrick Swayze guy?
My god.
Yeah,
It's
it reminded me of
exactly
that, and I was
the
just-
same.
Yeah, and I was like cringing, like, what the this is so out of
Is
place.
that
and
Ghost?
just,
Is
like,
that Ghost? Is that
Oh,
the
what,
film?
the
Yeah.
pottery scene?
Yeah, it's a good film. That is.
I couldn't
I've never seen it, but
I couldn't tell whether both Graham and Ryan could see her, or if it was
They
just
could.
Ryan.
No, apparently they. I
It's
think they both
literally
could.
Return of
Then
the
what-
Jedi when Luke sees Obi-Wan and Anakin.
What was it? What did it mean? Like, I don't get what it meant. Like, what?
Oh no,
why
she
was
died.
She
It
there?
was
it
Graham's
was just dumb.
wife and
Just like-
well, it was Graham's like
Yeah.
it was his wife, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
Ryan's grandma.
I mean, I got the but like, how did the ghost show up and they both saw her?
I don't.
Like, what?
I think that's probably supposed to be open ended or something, like whether they could see her or something. But I just felt like it came across so wrong. Like you didn't quite like really take that from it.
I was
It just kinda
I was hoping they'd be
out of
killed
place.
off. I was hoping a
Yeah,
Dalek was shooting.
could at least one of them not die or something, or do like a Breaking Bad thing, or Graham's cancer is going to come back and he dies or something like that. Like they could have been something a lot more clever
Yeah.
than just
Yeah,
them
wait,
being like,
just
I'm a
going
bit
back
bored
to the
of
whole
this.
mentioning shit, with Jack, callbacks. You had like that entire thing about mentioning Rose. Like what? Why are you saying that extra information to completely different people? Like, oh,
Just
this
fan
was
service and shit.
Rose
Yeah,
who
no,
gave
I
me this
noticed
power
that
of
as well.
immortality, and it's like you didn't even like show that you were immortal once. So what was the point of mentioning Rose?
It's like could have been one of his
why
previous
didn't he get shot by
companions,
Daleks and then them
Yeah.
ask about it or something? And then he explained.
Yeah, but they did
It
that
would've made
in
a lot more
Journey's
sense,
End.
but it was
Remember
just
when because Rose didn't even know that Jack was immortal and he got exterminated by a Dalek, and obviously like Ten was just like, oh, just leave it, like trust me, just leave it. Oh no,
That
it was
wasn't-
the
that
stolen
was,
Earth, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. No, it was Journey's End. It was Journey's End.
Yeah,
it was
like
Journey's End.
you know what I mean,
I don't know.
Liam? Like
When he gets put in, yeah. He goes, yeah, have this, and shoots the red Dalek, and then the red Dalek shoots him, and Rose is like, oh my god, and he's like, just leave it, and then he winks on
he's
the
like,
floor.
oh,
floor,
yeah.
and he winks
I
at
get
the
mixed up
doctor.
with him,
Like if
Martha,
they
and
had
it's
something
okay.
like that, I don't know. Obviously, if they did that, it would have been exactly the same because.
I love John Barrowman, but I just don't think even Captain Jack's character isn't written the same anymore. It didn't feel the same Jack as what we used to get in Stolen Earth and Journey's End and stuff.
It felt really stilted.
I want to talk about that plot device
as
well.
It's just animated. It just seems animated.
That makes you walk through walls to just extend the time, Like, we've got this ball. If you squeeze it, you can run through walls. Like, it's just childlike writing,
Literally, to me, like, every scene felt like it was from, like, a video game or something. It was just, like, so...
You know what, that makes sense, like, if it was video game cutscenes.
Yeah, it'd be like, it'd be serviceable for, like, a video game, but it's just when you're watching it's like a video, like, when you look up, like a video game movie or something on, like, YouTube.
If we're talking about fan service again, why the hell were, they're like Sycorax silenced? Why was there a weeping angel in the prison?
I liked that.
I didn't mind that.
I liked that.
No, it wasn't. I felt like it was just fan service.
Semi-subtle.
What?
It was, but at least it was like
made
relevant
sense
to the plot.
though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like with what Graham and Ryan said, they were like, moving stones here, and there was something else they said as well about like potatoes running around. That obviously there's been leaks of the Sontarans coming back and Weeping Angels for Series 13. Weeping Angels, in my opinion, should have been left at Blink. Personally,
agreed.
Should have been left at Blink.
100% agreed.
No, but with if they come back, and that was sort of hinting to it, and then at the end, obviously the whole episode is finished, and then fucking John Bishop was introduced.
That was a weird reveal. Yeah.
But it gives me some sort of hope that he could be a better companion at least. Rather than just Yaz and the Doctor. If it was Yaz and the Doctor, I think I'd struggle to watch it. I really do. I struggle to watch it now. Overall, then, what would you? Is there anything else you want to talk about, or was that like Revolution of the Daleks that wraps up?
I do want to say, overall though, I do think the story itself wasn't bad. Like, obviously, it was very kind of like safe and everything. It wasn't like it was actually doing anything new, but it wasn't like I didn't hate it.
No, I did enjoy the story.
Yeah, the story. I didn't hate the story. I just hated a lot of the other side stuff.
And it did feel like a smooth continuation on from Resolution. Like,
yeah, I do like the idea of like a two-parter in a way that's kind of like crossed with the specials. I quite like that idea. I think that's a good idea.
Stan, the scene with when the companions like run up on Jack Robinson, he's at the car and all the security like come around them.
Oh yeah.
That's filmed outside our building.
What the Loomis one?
Next to Loomis, everything. Yeah. Zenith, outside.
I noticed in Resolution they had Type 1 Hand as well. The bridge they had, like, when he picks up the phone call saying, "Have you seen what's the face, the girl?" When he was on the phone to Doctor, that was right next to the bridge. Like, he was standing right by the stairs up to the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh really? I need to watch that back then and have a look.
Yeah, I noticed it when I watched it back. Yeah.
What would you rate it then? The episode? I'd say I'd rate it. In my opinion, I found it more enjoyable than Resolution. I'd rate it a 6 out of 10.
I think it's better than Resolution, honestly. So at least Resolution was a bit more original, I think. So I give this one a 5. It was safe. It was fine, but
Liam?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of on par with Resolution for me. So I'm probably gonna go with a 5/6. Because I like the story of Resolution better, but Revolution wasn't.
I agree with you.
Bad at all.
I gave Resolution a 5, and I was thinking about 5, but then I rewatched it, and I think it was worse than the first time, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I gave it 6 originally. Actually,
yeah, I know it sounds
time,
really harsh, but.
Again, the good points are overshadowed by the bad ones.
Yeah, and there's a lot more bad.
I think it's right in the middle to me.
Yeah, like there's a
good
whole
bits
lot
and
more
bad
bad
bits
in my
to me,
opinion than in Resolution.
And they just kind of mesh into
so I'm gonna have to give it a 4, or 4.5 actually. I feel like that's a lot more generous.
So should we just go through which ones we preferred? So mine, I prefer Resolution slightly more than Revolution.
Same.
Who else?
I prefer Resolution.
I prefer Revolution of the Daleks more than Resolution. I prefer the action in Resolution of the Daleks more. Revolution. God, they're so fucking confusing. Revolution of the Daleks, the newest one, I prefer more to Resolution.
I preferred Resolution because of being able to see how threatening a Dalek really is, even outside the shell
same.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I really like that concept.
So 5 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
Okay, is that the end of the discussion then?
So that's an overall average of 5 out of 10 for the the specials.
Bring on next.
Oh
time
yeah,
in
so
Daleks.
next we're going to be discussing
yeah.
the Capaldi era, specifically the Zygon Inversion 2-parter and Heaven Sent.
Right, so next episode we have the Capaldi episode and a very, very special
The mystery
guest.
guest! I'm just going to have like a kind of question mark.
The mystery guest. Yeah,
Mystery guest.
Thank you, Liam, for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, and I love your content. Keep it up. At Liam.clear. Put it somewhere on the screen.
Yeah.
On the screen
I
now.
think we should have you on it. I think we should have you on again. I think you were a good guest star.
I really would love to. Do you know what episodes I'd love to talk about if I come on again with you? Could we talk about End of Time Part 1 and 2?
Yes,
That's a good idea.
Great, that's
Sure.
a great idea,
Okay.
actually, yeah.
End of Time Part 1 and 2. Yeah, because
you know,
I feel like mixed
we'll do that soon.
emotions
Because
about
when we're
those
on
episodes, but
Spotify,
just
you know, we might be really big, just in case. You know, if our schedule isn't too packed, then yeah, maybe we'll have you on.
Yeah, if
like
we
a
have time for
short-term
you,
half-an-hour segment, you know. It all
oh
depends,
god.
you know?
No, thank you all. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's been good fun.
It's been great fun.